Hey everyone, it's Madison Josiato. Now I know some of you have followed me all the way back since 2015 when I first wrote about the disproportionate number of abortions within the Black community. At the time, I had taken a look at the most recently reported statistics from the CDC abortion surveillance, which were from 2011. Over the past 5 years, I've kept track of this issue, and I've once again taken a look at the most recently reported statistics, which are now from 2016. Super discouraged to see that the numbers really haven't changed. In fact, some of the stats have gotten worse, and the unfortunate reality remains that abortion is the #1 killer of Black Americans in this country. Abortion has taken the lives of more Black Americans than homicide, than cancer, than heart disease, than motor vehicle accidents, than police brutality. I mean, the numbers are truly staggering. And when you look at women aged 15 to 44, you'll see that Black women are over 4 times more likely to have an abortion than white women. When you look at the abortion numbers as a whole, Black women, of course, make up about 13% of the female population, but in 2016 they made up over 38% of abortions, compared to 2011 where it was about 36%. We have some even more recent statistics coming from specific cities and states, and the numbers are even worse. The state of Michigan, for example, Black women again making up about 13% of that female population, but making up over 50% of abortions. New York City, year after year, we see that more Black babies are aborted than are born alive. So how did we get here? Why are these statistics the way that they are? Obviously, this is a very complex issue, but we can't look at this issue without taking a look at organizations like Planned Parenthood and the role that they've played in the killing of millions of Black babies across this country. Of course, Planned Parenthood was started by Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist, but many people in this country don't even know what eugenics are. Let me read you the definition of eugenics. Eugenics is a set of beliefs and practices that aim to improve the genetic quality of a human population historically by excluding people and groups judged to be inferior and promoting those judged to be superior. Now, if this doesn't obviously convince you on its own of Margaret Sanger's negative intentions, let's take a look at her history on race. And Margaret Sanger, in her own autobiography, wrote about the fact that in 1926, in Silver Lake, New Jersey, she spoke to the Ku Klux Klan. In her own quote says, "I believed I had accomplished my purpose." She talked about the acclaim she received from the KKK and how she received many dozens more invitations from similar groups following that. 3 years before her speech to the Ku Klux Klan, she gave an interview to the New York Times in an article titled "Creating a Race of Thoroughbreds." Let me read to you what she had to say to the New York Times. "It means the release and cultivation of the better racial elements in our society and the gradual suppression, elimination, and extirpation of defective stocks, those human weeds which threaten the blooming of the finest flowers of American civilization." If this doesn't give you chills, I don't know what does. Now, Margaret Sanger may be dead, but her movement is still alive and well and being carried out by Planned Parenthoods all across our country. In 2012, Protecting Black Lives released a study showing that 79% of Planned Parenthood's surgical abortion facilities are located within walking distance of Black and Hispanic communities. Other organizations have done similar things as Planned Parenthood in targeting Black women. One of those organizations in Dallas, Texas, putting up a billboard a few years ago saying, "Black women take care of their families by taking care of themselves. Abortion is self-care." Do not let these people fool you. They want to normalize abortion. Abortion is not self-care. Abortion is not health care. Abortion is murder. And the reality remains that there are other options out there. There are other great organizations out there that Planned Parenthood and these other groups don't want you to know about. They're not going to tell women about these. I know that it's very difficult for a woman to face an unplanned pregnancy, especially if she doesn't have the financial resources or emotional support at home. But there are so many organizations all across this country that not only provide women with free health care, but they provide women with financial resources, with emotional support, with counseling, with everything they may need, like diapers and formula and clothes, to start their life with their new baby, which is such a blessing. I said in 2015, and I'll repeat it once again, America needs to wake up. We need to realize that abortion is taking the lives of too many Black Americans. We have to be the change we want to see. We have to protect the lives of the unborn, and we have to make a significant improvement on this issue. Take a look at the statistics for yourself. Take a look at the background of Planned Parenthood, and do not be mistaken. This is a direct attack on the Black communities in our country. We need to do better to protect these unborn children that could become the next president of the United States, that could become the next doctor, the next lawyer, the next teacher, the next change maker in our very own community. So take a look at this and realize that this is a very important issue that does not get the attention it deserves in the mainstream media.